Hello, class. Good day to all of you. This is our first lesson. Okay, it is about bonding, chapter 3 chemistry, IGCSE. We are going to learn some introduction for bonding today, why bonding happen, what type of bonding that are available in the chemical compound, and some example of compound for each type of bonding. For this lesson, I have one PowerPoint for you, and I also have one worksheet that will accompany today's lesson. So let me show to you my PowerPoint for today's lesson. Okay, this is the PowerPoint, types of bonding for you today. And this is the PowerPoint. So this is a worksheet for today's lesson. Grade 8 worksheet for lesson 1, okay? So you have some question and I'd like you to answer this question by the end of the lesson today. This question will help you to enhance the understanding of why atom form bonding. Okay? So what we need for our class is we need you to have a periodic table. I'm having one of them. Okay, let me show you my periodic table. Oops. Wait, let me go to my periodic table. Okay, see where is my. Okay, I'll show you my periodic tables. Since I'm using a online periodic table, it is a little bit more colorful. Okay, you can see. Okay, so you're going to have the same periodic table with you as well. And this will help you during our lesson today. Okay, so you can just take out the periodic table from the book or from your planner or elsewhere. Okay, so guys, before we start, I have one question. And I'd like to ask you about this. Why do you think humans are living with another human, or human having a relationship with another human? Why can't you find a man or woman who's living alone and single in, let's say, in a remote place? Why? So I'd like you to ponder this question deep inside you. And as we go through today's topic, I hope you would have some answer regarding my question that I put for you just now. Okay. Now, when we look about compounds surrounding us, there's so many compounds, not only surrounding us, including inside us. All right. So let us label some of these compounds, and I like to get some answers from you all, some feedback from you, some example of compound. Okay. So each one of you, I like you to stand up today in the classroom. Name one of the compound. It is okay if it is not correct. It is okay if it is correct. So each one of you, starting from the first person in front here. So I will write down some of the compound here, not all of them. As you mention the name of the compound that you probably know that is surrounding us. Okay. So let's start the ball rolling. I'm gonna write down some of the things that you probably mentioned it now. Good. Okay, the next person. Okay, good. Yeah, you can name me some chemical name. You can name me just a normal name that you know. Okay. Okay, very good. So if you notice, some of you mentioned about all these compounds that is surrounding us, and of course, there are more than this. Just want to get some feedback from you. Okay, something to begin with our class, to get some engagement from you so that you have an idea there is so many things surrounding us. Okay, very good. So guys, as you see, there's so many different type of compound. And in order to learn about this compound, we usually use some form of categorizing based on the bonding that this compound are built. Okay, so without much delay, let us go to my PowerPoint today. Okay, and we see what we can learn about the type of bonding. Okay, so today is very general. So when we talk about type of bonding for our level, we have the first single covalent bonding. Okay, simple covalent bonding, or sometimes they say single covalent bonding, double covalent bonding. Okay, so an example is the protein molecule that's inside our body. Okay, or water, am I right? Or the glucose, probably the food that you eat every day, and so many things. Okay, so let's have a look. Simple covalent bond, they usually are very small. They have a very low melting point. Okay, they are volatile, normally soft and brittle when solid. Okay, so simple covalent bonding is sometimes the form of crystallized solid. So if we want to look about simple covalent bonding, we can see most of the time simple covalent bonding is between non-metal and another non-metal element. Okay, so if we go back to our periodic table, you can see all those from group 15, group 16, group 17, and even group 18, they are made of simple covalent bonding. Okay, so now the next one we have ionic bonding. So just now in the class, I noticed some of you mentioned about the salt that we eat every day. Some of you even know the name. The scientific name is sodium chloride. Of course, some of you just are not really sure about the scientific name, but probably you know that it's a table salt because you can find the dining table in your house or in the school canteen as well. All right. So this is ionic. The word of ionic comes from ions. There's a formation of ions. So when you talk about ion, you can see we have positive ion, we have negative ion. Am I right? So in our second lesson, we will go a bit more deeper about ionic bonding, how it is formed, and what type of example of ionic compound that we can have, so on and on. Okay, so some general idea or character of ionic compound you can see is a high melting point, hard but brittle, have uniform repeating structure. Okay, so it can dissolve inside water, do not conduct electricity when solid, things like this. So this is very beautiful picture of sodium chloride. the table salt that you eat every day, if you look under the microscope, this is copper sulfate. You can see very beautiful, it's a blue color crystal. This is a nickel 2 chloride. You can see very beautiful green color. This is copper chloride crystals. Okay, so it have some crystalline form. Am I right? So this is, you're gonna learn about this. Okay, the next one. One of you mentioned about a diamond. Probably you love diamond because it's one of the valuable things in the world. So diamond is a giant covalent compound. Okay. So why it's called giant? Because it have a very strong structure and they form bonding with the same type of atoms and keep on continuously to form bonding without non-stop. We're going to learn about giant covalent bonding also. Okay. And then the next part is the character. It have an extremely high melting point, extremely high boiling point. It have a covalent, it's a type of covalent bond, but with a repeating structure. Okay, so they don't dissolve inside water. They don't really conduct electricity, exception for graphite and silicon. Okay, it have a very high melting point, very strong. Okay, graphite is the only one that is soft. So beside the normal thing that you probably know about diamond, there is other giant covalent compound as well, like the Buckminster fullerene, carbon nanotubes, okay, and so many things. Okay, graphene. The last one for today. Any idea? No? Some of you mentioned about aluminium. Some of you mentioned about iron. So they are actually a type of metallic bonding. All right. So we usually don't really come across about metallic bonding, but it is about metal. So among the metal atom inside a metal compound, they have a very strong bonding as well. Okay. So it's called metallic bonding. So this is between the same type of atom. For example, if you talk about, let's say, aluminium metal, it's all between the aluminium atom and aluminium atom. If you talk, let's say, about magnesium metal, it is about the magnesium metal with another magnesium metal, the atoms. So it's not a combination, let's say, magnesium and aluminium. Okay, guys, so just be correct. It is among the same atom from the same type of element. Okay, so that is about metallic bonding. So this is basically an introduction for today's lesson. I really hope you can understand some point of the view. Okay, now, when I look at the periodic table, I like to show you a way how to get the concept. Okay, so let us look at the periodic table for a while. So guys, this is our periodic table. You see, my one is very beautiful. It's a bit lively. I can put and I can move. This is group 1, group 2, group 3. All right. Okay. And this group 4, 5, 6, and up to the 13. All are actually metallic group. Okay. Group 1 to 13 is metallic. Now, from 14 up to 18 is basically non-metal. And you can see some form of a zigzag here. Boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium, S13, all of them is known as semi-metal or metalloid. Means they have a property of both metal and non-metal. Okay, so you need to have this understanding. And then let me go how by knowing this periodic table, you can actually figure out what type of bonding here. So guys, I'm going to draw a simple periodic table, basically a sketch. So let's say this is our periodic table just now. Okay, so give you a rough idea. Okay, and I'm going to put, let's say, all this metal with the purple color somewhere over here. So you can see it was all of this purple color, all of these here is metal, okay, it's metal. And then let me put a yellow color here. So guys, all of this is non-metal. Since there was a zigzag, this purple color is representing a zigzag. Let me use just a red color, okay, so that you have some idea. This red color is the semi-metal. Am I right? So guys, when you look at the periodic table in this format, okay, so you can get an understanding. When we talk about only here, only this group, okay, it is only metallic bonding, okay, metallic bonding. Then if you talk about only this type, so bonding that atoms all made from this type, it is covalent bond. Now, when you join both metallic and covalent, you will get ionic bonding. So I hope you can remember. So only this is the metallic, okay, it's metallic. And if only this, it is covalent, okay, it is covalent. I couldn't write nicely for you because I have some problem with using a mouse. Okay, and then if you join this between both of them, they form ionic. Now, some of you may ask, like, how about this giant covalent bond? So guys, giant covalent bond is only limited to group 14 somewhere over here. It's only limited to basically carbon, okay, and usually silicon. Okay, we don't learn more than that. It's just that carbon, they can form in a different form of allotrope like graphite, okay, or for example, like diamond, or for example, like the Buckminster fullerene or graphene. So all of them are carbon. And another giant covalent structure that we have is silicon oxide. Okay, so usually these are very small, limited. The rest of all of them are basically coming from these three things. Either they are form of metal because they're only metal, or they are all combination of non-metal. For example, like sulfur dioxide, sulfur is non-metal, oxygen is also non-metal. So both are covalent compound. So when you have a metal and a non-metal, then we form ionic compound. Okay, guys, so I hope you can have some understanding a little bit about this. Now, let us look at the question before we finish today's lesson. Okay. Now, so guys, we already have finished almost 20 minutes. We have another 20 minutes for you. I'd like you to answer this question. It will really help enhance your understanding about the introduction for bonding. Okay. So if you look at these questions, although it look very simple and similar for you, you can see my first question is so simple. It's asking like, why atom bonds with another atom, give two reason and explain. We have friendship with others. So this is giving you a clue why. Again, why group 8, for example, they are unreactive. How you can start a friendship with a new student in a school, give two ways and explain. So how atom can form bonding, you can see sometimes there's a transfer of electron, sometimes there's a sharing of electron, all right? So just like you, in your school, sometimes you give something to your friend. For an example, your friend missed the pencil, he or she need, you gave a pencil to him and said, okay, this is my present for you. Now, sometime your friend was, let's say she or he is hungry for the lunchtime. Maybe your friend forget to bring the meal. So you have, let's say, some cakes or sandwiches. What do? You share a little bit with your friend, right? You share. Okay, so this sharing, and there's also give and take. So these are two ways, right? So you can get some ideas here. reflection by using this concept, how you can relate to the bonding. Okay, so this is my short question. I give you about 20 minutes to answer this. And in the next lesson, okay, the second lesson, we'll discuss some of your answers and see what is the idea that we have gained from today's lesson. Okay, guys, that's all for me for today. I hope you have an enjoyable question. If you have any question that arise in your mind, feel free to ask me today or in the next class. That's all for now. I hope you can complete your worksheet. You have 20 minutes. Bye-bye for now. Thank you, class.